Hey, it's Mr. Freaky. Halloween's always been my thing. Some people wait for Christmas. Some count the days to their birthday. But me? I wait for the day Home Depot rolls out their Halloween section. Every year, I spend weeks perfecting my yard. Fog machines, lighting, props, animatronics. It's not just decoration to me. It's a lifestyle. My neighbors call me the weird Halloween guy. Even the local paper featured my setup once. I live for it. So when I finally got my hands on the 12-foot skeleton, the one everyone online was going crazy for a couple years ago, I felt like I'd completed some kind of collector's dream. I actually didn't get mine brand new though. The online stock was sold out everywhere, and the resale prices were insane. But I found one listed a few towns over for half the price. The woman selling it was different. Her yard was filled with wind chimes and glass jars hanging from the porch, with the faint smell of incense and something sweet being burnt. She said she didn't like celebrating Halloween anymore. I laughed it off, handed her the cash, and loaded the skeleton into my truck. It took me a while to assemble it. The massive rib cage, legs, and arms were quite the undertaking. But it looked perfect standing in my front yard once it was done, towering over the whole neighborhood. I positioned it so it faced the street, both arms down at its sides, in an almost regal stance. I remember saying to my wife, "This is it, my crown jewel." I used to get out of my car and just look at it every night when I got home from work. Lovingly, I'd walk up to it and scratch off the dirt flakes and pollen smudges it had acquired throughout the day. Then one day I came home and noticed the skeleton's arm was slightly lifted up, seemingly pointing out to an oak tree in the front yard. I figured I must have accidentally bumped it while mowing or something. Those joints were loose. The slightest contact could make them shift. So I adjusted it back to its original pose. The next day I walked out to my car to head to work, and as I started it, I noticed the skeleton's right arm was pointing out again. Confused, I quickly ran over and adjusted it, then jumped back in the car. If only I knew at that point how much more confused I would get. When I got back again that night, the arm was out again. In fact, it was out every night after that. I'd always fix it, eventually deciding to try some hot glue to tighten the joint. But nothing would hold it in place. The arm would always pop back up and just be pointing out again in the morning. My wife told me to stop obsessing over it.
It's just decoration. The wind probably pushes it.
But that didn't make sense. The joints were tight. I couldn't even barely move it with my hands after adding the hot glue. My son Tyler, who's 8, started noticing too. I remember him going,
"Dad, I don't like that thing. Why is it always pointing?"
I told him that it was just the wind or maybe some neighborhood kids popping it up when we weren't looking. The way he asked it, though, made me almost wonder if I actually believed that myself. Kids have a way of doing that. Finally, Halloween night arrived, my favorite of the year. Kids from all over the neighborhood came by. The whole yard was going with fog and music and lights. I made sure to put the skeleton's arm down again, and even adjust the direction of his stance to possibly prevent the wind from catching it. I was also going to keep an eye on it while I sat outside with my glass of wine and a giant bowl of Halloween candy for the trick-or-treaters. Tyler was dressed as a little vampire. He and his friends were running up and down the sidewalk, going up to different neighbors' houses. Around 9 p.m., the trick-or-treaters began to thin out. So I started cleaning up the candy table, when my wife came up beside me and whispered.
Did you move the skeleton again?
I turned around. My blood ran cold. And the second I had looked away to clean up the table, the skeleton's arm had stretched out again, and its body had shifted slightly back in the direction of the tree. A chill went down my spine. "I can't wait to take that thing down tomorrow," I said to her as I walked over and adjusted it again, fixing its pose one last time before heading back inside. A couple minutes later, while I was putting my shoes on the rack, I heard tires screeching. Then a sound I'll never forget. the crunch of impact, and a shriek that was so ear-piercing it didn't even sound human. When I ran outside, my heart already felt what had happened. A car had crashed into the oak tree in the front yard as Tyler was walking past it. Turns out a drunk driver had come speeding through the neighborhood, swerving to avoid a cat. The rest of the night is a blur. Sirens, lights, my wife's screams echoing throughout the streets as they took Tyler's body away in the city's coroner's van. The skeleton towered above it all, motionless and watching. I still don't know how the skeleton knew what was going to happen to Tyler, or if it was just some kind of insane coincidence. I guess I never will. The thing that really keeps me up at night, though, is whether it was actually trying to warn us, or if the skeleton made it happen.